Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another match reaction. Chelsea won, well, Palace won, Chelsea won on the night. Not a good result for us again. 2 points dropped again. What are the issues? Is it Maresca? Is it again the attack? Was it the midfield? What is it specifically? We're going to be getting into it very, very shortly. I need you guys to smash the like buttons if you're new here, guys. Run the likes up. Share it out. We've got the panel joining us as well. Lots to discuss. Another 2 points dropped, man. Another 2 fucking points dropped, guys. Another 2 points dropped. And let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for this match reaction to a draw. A draw again, guys. Yes, 2 Palace away. Chelsea conceding on the 82nd minute of the game. What were the issues? What were the problems? Is it the same stuff that we're used to not seeing, which is, again, just not taking your chances? Yes. Is it manager? Again, yes. Was it specifically lineup today? Question marks, because Josh got his start today. I thought he done quite well for his first game, well, first debut game, should we say, for Chelsea. But lots and lots to discuss, lots to get into. I need you guys to run the likes up in the chat. How are we feeling after that one, guys? Very, very painful. I'm assuming very, very painful for you guys as well. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Big up, Carrie. He says, just blame Maresca, man. He's very slow to substitute. Chelsea players are crippled. The opponents are just subbing players. What does Maresca do? He just waits. I think this is now the 4th game in a row where I've seen limited action from my manager. And that does worry me because he can't use the fact that he hasn't got a bench. We saw the bench today. Again, he chose not to use the bench. And when he does use it, he's using it later in the games as well. Not really benefiting us whatsoever. And it's becoming a problem. It's actually becoming a problem. And you're starting to see it on the pitch. The lack of options in the midfield. We relied on Caicedo and Enzo again to play pretty much every game. The poor performances, individual performances that we're still getting from certain individuals on the pitch. And not making substitutions to try and switch things up is another problem. But we're obviously going to get more into it. Jackson wasted too many chances. Palmer got sloppy as it gets late. Needs to be subbed. Palmer, what we got to do to actually see Palmer come off the pitch? Because it seems like this guy just doesn't get subbed. And I know he was involved today with the goal and stuff, but it's like the guy just can't come off the pitch. Maybe he needs to have a little 20-minute, half-hour break. You know? Switch it up. Try a different 10. Give us something different. Someone with a bit more energy on the pitch, you know? There's a Maresca is to blame. He needs to trust his bench. Well, he's not showing that he trusts his bench right now, guys. He's not showing us that he trusts his bench. And that sucks right now. I am fuming, Daniel says. We need a striker. Listen, I've been banging on about having competition across the pitch. Striker is just one of them areas, guys, that I knew we were going to need. But we need a bagsman. And this is not because I want Nicholas Jackson out the club. But this guy is now falling out of form for me. He had most of Chelsea's chances in front of goal today, and there were good chances, and he couldn't convert them. He just couldn't convert them, and we're going to talk about more about him. So hold on to that in a second. Hold your horses on that. No way Maresca blamed Jackson's missed chances. Is a part of it, 100%. I don't think we could ignore that he hadn't. Pathetic. Palmer cost us. Big up. Molfi Jerian, sorry if I'm not pronounced that well. Thank you for the donation. Back where we belong next week. We'll be 6th, is what he's saying. He's not happy with the last odd performances as well. We're going to get into Jackson is shite, is what we got from Top Bins. Thank you for the donation. Brian CFC again with the donation here as well says, but I thought we were back. Pathetic as fuck. Listen, there was never a point in my head where I knew that we weren't going to have a blip. It's just how long was the blip going to sustain? And then it was how quickly can we switch it and find that consistency in our performances again. We're not playing bad. We're just not taking our chances. And if you don't kill games, doesn't matter who we're playing, home and away, if you cannot kill games with the chances that you're creating, then you're always going to leave yourself open. You're going to give the opposition the opportunity to, take advantage later in the game, like they did. All right, it was a bad mistake from Palmer in the middle of the pitch, but they still had lots to do, Palace, to get that goal. But why did we have to be on the 82nd minute? Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, not comfortable, and not taking our chances, and limited substitutions from our own manager. Why? Why did we have to see that? Brian, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it as well. Sorry, guys, there's loads of views, loads of comments in here right now. I can't literally get through them all. But big up to everyone in Charity FC Strax again is what Andrew says. Big up Andrew in the chat. Yeah, it feels like it, mate. It does. And, listen, we're going to get into some couple things that I've got on here as well. Jackson is not good enough is what we've got here. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like buttons. We should be over 100 likes right now. There's over 250 people in the building. Big up every single one of you that are currently here at the moment. What does it mean for Chelsea in the Premier League table? Well, here we are, guys. Here we are. Sitting fourth, 20 games played. The boys in Liverpool got 2 games in hand. Arsenal, Nottingham Forest have still got their games to play. We are sitting on 36 points. Yeah, we're sitting on 36 points. 2 losses. Well, 2. It should really change now. It should be 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses is what it should be. That's what we should be reading right now. Newcastle winning today. Look, a point behind us. Man City winning today. 2 points behind us. We had a healthy lead against these guys. You look at where Chelsea are in 4th, all the way down to 8th. 4 points. 4 points. 4 points. And we've done it to ourselves because these were the games where we needed to see it through. These were the games where we had to, I repeat, we had to see it through. And we didn't. And we haven't. And it's becoming more of it's becoming a bit of an issue currently for us right now because we're struggling to find the form. We need Misha back, is what someone said in the chat just now. No one said we was in title race skills. There's no banter to have here, mate. No one here said we were in a title race, so you go and check yourself somewhere else, buddy. Okay. Yeah, this is just not good enough, guys. I'm sorry. Look at this. Look at this. Someone's written time for Jackson to go, Jackson. It's got nothing to do with time to go, Jackson. But look at these. Look at these. Look at these performances. Look at these. Look at these games. Look at these games, man. There you go. Right there. Look at these games. You've got Palace, who we've drew with. Ipswich, 2-0 loss. Fulham, 2-1 loss. Everton, draw. 2 points, guys. 2 points out of 12. That's killer. That is absolutely, ridiculous, to be quite honest. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. We have ads in the building. Ads, I'll talk to you in a second. Are you here? Can you hear us? Is he good? I can see him, but he can't see us right now. But yeah, look at this, guys. Look at this. Palace, Ipswich, Fulham, Everton. That is not good enough. Them 4 games are the type of 4 games that when you are challenging, and this is why we're not challenging, when you are in a position to challenge, these are the type of games you go and win. We weren't challenging anyway, but what we could have done is cemented ourselves in a comfortable position in the top 4. What we have done now is allowed others behind to put the pressure on us, to force us in the battle with teams all the way down to blimmin' 8th. There's a 4-point gap between us right now as well. No, he's not. What are you talking about, Skills? It's weird comments. What the hell? We're dropping points for fun now. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. Ads, are you there? No, he's cut off. He's disappeared. I don't know where he's gone. So, and a lot of it, people saying Jackson, but this, that, and the other. Yeah, but we're also going to have a quick look at the stats because it's very telling. It's very damning, the stats today. The stats are absolutely damning. Look at this, guys. Look at this. So, did Chelsea dominate the possession today? Yeah, of course we did. How many shots on target did we have? Out of 15. 1. 1. 1. 1 fucking shot on target out of 15. And I thought we had a good first half. I didn't think we played too bad the first half. I actually liked some of the link-up play. Sancho was having a good game. Palmer scores. You know, we were linking balls well, playing off each other, running off it. It was looking all good and merry. And out of all of the blimmin' chances that we had, the player that had the most chances on the pitch out of every player today, who you want to have the most chances on the pitch, barring maybe Cole Palmer, based on stats, shall we say. Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson had more chances for Chelsea in front of goal than any other player on the pitch today from both Palace and Chelsea side. And listen, no, I'm not saying he goes out to miss, but this goes back to what I say with him. He is still developing. He is still going to have these moments in his game because he's still, second season in the Premier League, over-exceeded at the beginning to many, but now is having these, having this blip that he's having. But these are the differences to killing games, guys. If we don't take our chances and it lands to a striker who isn't killing it, who isn't clinical enough, then you have to look at changing things. But our manager doesn't want to do that at the moment. 4 games in a row that we played where our manager's made 1 substitution in the Premier League. All right, 2 today with Madueke coming on the 85th minute after they'd scored on the 82nd. But that's not good enough. That's just not good enough for me. He's starting, and I said it last time round, he's starting to have this Poch-esque way about him. He's not solving. He's not doing what he was doing very good at the beginning of the season. What was he doing? Rotating, 4 or 5 subs made. He was making 4 to 5 subs each time. Switching it around, keeping it fresh, giving us something different. Allowing others to still be hungry, come into the team play. He's showing us at the moment, for me, in his last 4 games, that he don't trust his bench. He must not trust his bench right now. You got Nkunku sitting there. You got Madueke sitting there. You got attackers sitting there. You got attackers available sitting there. All right, Eds, no worries. That's fine. I was going to try and get him in quickly, see if it works. Hey, Ads, can you hear me? Unmute yourself. Yeah. Yeah, he's lagging, isn't he? Unmute yourself, bro. You're still muted. You need to unmute your mic. You're all right. I can see you. I can see everything. You just need to unmute. I think he's gone again. I don't know what's going on with trying to get Ads in here, man. I can't get him in at the moment. It's really frustrating. I don't know what is going on. Achapong had a good debut. Yeah. That was a big decision. You had 3 centre-backs on the bench today, and I was very like, why are we doing that? 3 full-backs. And someone told me, Don told me, don't worry, Achapong can play centre-back. He's actually played it before. He's comfortable. He can do it. Okay, cool. I don't think he had a bad game today. Thought he done quite well. But sticking to the problem right now, because we can talk about the defence and everything else. Sticking to what's been the problem right now for us is the lack of decision-making from our manager. 70-odd minutes again, he waits. Madueke come on the 85th minute, for fuck's sake. Like, he's not taking Palmer off, who maybe needs to come off, hence why he lost the ball how he did lose the ball, because my man's probably leggy in the middle of the pitch and they're hunting him down. Switch it up, man. Switch it up. There we go. He's unmuted now. Yes, Ads.
Yo, what's good, bro? What's good?
Yeah, we can hear it. What are you saying? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't get why this is happening to him. This is like Chelsea right now. Just pain. I'm just getting pure pain all the time. Trying to get him into the live. I can't even get him in the live. I don't know what's going on at the moment. It's really, really, really annoying. It really, really is annoying me. Actually, 1 second. Let me just do something. Guys. I'm thinking, is it something? Is it this? Can't be this because it's letting everyone else in as well. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry. And then we'll continue talking. We can do player ratings. I'm not even in the mood to do player ratings right now, to be quite honest with you. Like, I'd rather just talk about what the problems are. And the problems for me, again today, is not taking your chances, killing games, and not take your chances killing games, and our manager again. Two of the same things. How are they not? How is he not noticing it as well? Why has he gone into that naivety way? Why has he gone into that naivety way in what he's doing? I don't get it. You know, now we dropped 2 points again when we need to win today, especially after the last two games. It's just not good enough. You know? Worse now, no. Is that better? Am I back? I think I'm back. You know, why is he doing that? I have no clue. I have no clue, guys. I really, really don't. And we're going to go into him now anyway. Let's go and talk about him. Sorry, guys. My internet's playing up completely now. Keep smashing a like, sharing it out if you can as well. If you do want to come in, let us know in the chat. Total and complete regression. Yeah, but how can you go from, Steve, one end of the Richter scale to the other like we have? It makes no fucking sense, mate. It literally makes no sense. Oh, for God's sake. I don't know what is going on here. I can't seem to get ads in. I don't know what's going on. 1 second. I've not been able to get ads in. It's just doing my head in. Meant to have a panel into that and I can't get them in. Wrestler got a squad on bench he don't trust who owners put together. But how can we say that? How can we say that when he was playing, making 4 or 5 substitutions earlier on in the season and giving them more opportunities and mixing whatever? Listen, I know you need to fix on your core 11. I get that. But then use your options. Keep them hungry. Let him come in. You know, because he might come in and have all that hunger to prove something and win us a game today. It might be the difference. It might be that Nkunku comes on the pitch and puts the ball in the back of the net because he's come on now, he's got the opportunity and he's hungry to kill the game off for us. I don't fucking know. So these chances that Jackson's getting and he's playing 74 or 5 odd minutes of games and he's missing, yeah, right? Rather than making substitutions earlier, 60 minutes, and giving us something different, which he hasn't. You know, you brought Mark Gill on for the first time in 4 games. All right, that's a natural striker. Don't get me wrong. But still, for me, well too late. Well too late. You know, and you have to ask questions of him. Individual performances today. Malo Gusto, you know, second half was poor. He had 2 good defensive blocks in the box against Eze, which was good. I thought the first half, he wasn't that bad. I know some people thought he was bad. I don't think he was that bad. The second half, I thought he was, you know, he was out of position, not covering well, getting caught in them positions there as well. You know, he needed to switch it. Neto, I thought he had a good game today, not bad, but he needed to. I think we needed to switch it. You know, in the 60th minute, I thought the first half Neto and Sancho were fine. I thought they gave us a lot of what we needed. You know, used the wings well, and our goal came from Sancho and the ability to be able to beat a man quickly and find Palmer in the box with an. And listen, this is what Sancho's about: execution in the box, quick ball into the middle to Palmer, who then puts it in the back of the net in Palmer style. Yeah, we love all that. Great, 1-0, good goal, good, you know, good football. That's what I want to see. But, you know, there comes a time where you have to switch it. And it got to the 60 odd minute. We didn't control the game in the second half. I thought the second half we started again very poor, like we have done in the last couple of games. We've been poor from second halves. And that's another thing. What has he been very good at doing with this fucking team? He's been able to bring them out and get them fired up and wanting to, you know, attack these second halves and kill games off, or, you know, chase the game or win it or something. You know, we're not getting that same sort of energy right now, you know. I don't know why people keep saying that. We never said that, though. Do you know what I mean? But it's definitely painful to watch. He's like Pep or something. Is that what you think, Andrew? Andrew, if you're free, you can come in, bro. You got the link. The link's in the chat in the group. Always more than welcome to pop through. 240 people in the building right now, guys. Big up to every single one of you in the chat. We need direct wingers, man. No, Neto's are not consistently direct, and that's why we're in pressure. He just needs to switch. For me, he did need to switch now. I think now it had to come off in the second half. I'd left Sancho on because I thought Sancho was doing very well off the left, but we did need a Madueke a bit earlier on in the game, just to give us something different. Someone that will be direct, run at them legs that are probably tired of Palaces, cause them problems. But it felt to me that this was going to happen. I'm sorry, guys, because the longer and longer we kept missing chances, creating them for Nicholas Jackson. Enzo Fernandez had a very good chance where he side-footed it just past the post. Palmer had a moment. I think Neto had a moment. There was a number of moments, and then there was the penalty shout. Was it a penalty? I thought it was a penalty. But supposedly he touched a little bit of the curve of the ball. Fine. But, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just not good enough. Yeah, sure. Probably for a little. I do have work today after. And that's all right, Andrew. We're not on for long anyway. We're just doing another 20 minutes, half hour. So if you want to come and join me, mate, give me your thoughts and opinions. Please do so. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, just yeah. So yeah, Dennington, long time. Good to see you. Hope you're well. He says, long time, no see. Does Jackson need to be benched for a while? I'd like to see Felix at a false nine. Is that the option, guys? Is that what you're looking at? Do you think we need to have a false nine of Nkunku or Felix in at this moment? I don't know. All I know is that Jackson's going to start games at the moment. But because we haven't got any competition for him, really, because Mark Guiu's not really favoured by Maresca, in my opinion, other than for these European games, we're stuck with what we've got at the moment. And it's not good. It's just not good enough for me. It's just not good enough in terms of the options up there. We need someone to be able to come off the bench from striker and win us the games. Give us something different. Maybe someone that's a target man that can hold the ball up better, get on the end of things, get you that last goal. I don't know. I don't even know who I could even think of right now. People have mentioned Chris Wood before. I know it's funny, but like players that are able, Delap, for example, who completely smoked us the last game round in the second half. Like someone that could just get on the end of balls, and it is poor in game management. And this is why I'm sitting here and we're spending more time talking about the management and the game, the management from his side, because we could talk about all the missed chances, which we know about, and it of landing to, and it of landing to 1 second. I got ads. I think ads is it? Not ads. Not ads. Who's that? Is that who is that? Who is not ads? AJ's here as well. Big up. If I don't get booted first. Ads, you're in, mate. You're in.
Yo. The fuck is
AJ.
going on?
Oh, AJ.
Enzo Maresca, come to the front of the panel.
No, listen, I'm not even doing ratings right now, bro. I'm sitting here talking about in-game management again because this is the fourth game in a row where there's been a lack of in-game management. Yes, listen, Nicholas Jackson had all of our chances today. Yeah, and he was wasteful again. 4 games in a row where it's landed to him and he's not been, the difference is not killing the game off. We know this, right? We had the chances. 1 shot on target out of 15 is disgraceful. That's bad in itself. But again, and listen, AJ, I want to ask you your thoughts on the game, obviously, but thoughts on the Maresca, the lack of using of your bench. Like, what was your thoughts? Give us your thoughts on it, mate.
Listen, man, as you guys know, I have a little TikTok, so I do talk about the game, previews and reviews sometimes. From months ago, I mentioned that Enzo Maresca needs to upgrade his in-game management because I'm not liking what I'm seeing. We're still ending up winning games, but we're never fully in control of a game. Even if we're not scoring our chances, we can still control the game. In the last, this is a prime example of this game. We had a great first half. Everybody noticed we had a great first half with the ball. We created chances. We just can't score. If you scored those chances, you end up 3-2-3-4-0 up. The game plays out completely different. If you don't score those chances and the other team starts growing into the game, Maresca now it's his time to shine now. You understand? The players have done what they've done for the first hour, 70 minutes. It's your time to shine now. What are you doing? How are you going to impact the game? How are you going to get us through this game? We're winning 1-0. Even if we're not scoring our chances, we're winning the game. So what are you doing to ensure that when the whistle blows, we won the game? And he's not doing that. To me, he's not impacting the team to a degree where you're changing the complete flow of the game. The game is still playing out the way it's been playing out from minute 0. And that's a problem.
100%. And it's been a problem for the last 4 games or so as well. And I agree with you, AJ. It's just another frustrating 2 points dropped. We have got ads here as well. Finally, he's looking clear. We can hear him. He's good.
Don't jinx it.
Listen, I want to ask you, before we get into Maresca, obviously we're going to talk a lot about him. I'm not really doing a player rating going through each player. We'll talk about specifics. I think there's more to this than just talking about every player, but we'll go through what I think, some of the players that I think need to be highlighted. But in terms of Nicholas Jackson, mate, we've got a comment here talking about how he registered no shots on target in back-to-back games for Chelsea in the Premier League. 0 against Palace, 0 against Ipswich. Chelsea are lacking in this department at the minute, and it's affecting our results. I mean, again, today he had most of our chances. He had more chances in front of goal than any other player on the pitch today created for him, and he didn't convert. Ads. And I know me and you spoke about this before about having another option. I know you've laughed and mentioned Chris Wood, that type of presence, someone that can.
Yep. People laughed at me when I said that. They laughed.
Yeah, I mean, what was your thoughts on Jackson? Talk to me. What's going on with Jackson at the moment? Because it's not like we're not creating for him. Like, what's going on? Because we're not killing games.
Yeah. No. For me, first of all, big up you, big up everybody, big up you, AJ, as well. Everybody listening right now. Tough times, to be fair. Funny that we picked up 2 points from 12. That's crazy. That's crazy. But again, we'll get into the rest of it. Hopefully, we can do some sort of player rating, just because I feel like I want to talk about certain players at least. But again, on Jackson, very disappointing. Very disappointing. This is somebody that started the season very well, had the best conversion rate in the league, and again, from the eye test, we could see that he naturally isn't the best striker of the ball. We saw the issues he had last season, but it looked like he had gone some way towards correcting that. However, again, today, even the Brentford game before he scored, you're still seeing him miss chances like he was missing last season and showing that bit of rawness in front of goal, which is frustrating. Now, we didn't obviously sign him for 70 million, 100 million like some strikers out there, but while he was bought for relatively cheap and he's on a relatively small wage, he's since got a new contract and he's since been trusted for a second season running as our main number 9. So we need to have more from him. And of course, the last couple of games, he hasn't been great. I feel like times he didn't get the service like he should have been against Fulham, against Ipswich at time. Oh, not Ipswich. Mainly the Fulham game. But today he can't complain about service. He got the service and he missed the chances. But the issue for me is that, okay, cool, Jackson, who I don't rate as like a world-class striker right now, he's got promise, but he's not a world-class striker right now. The issue is if he's not firing, our next best striker is an 18-year-old. That's it. Yeah. And then after that, you're playing people. I saw somebody mention, let's try Felix false 9. Hell no. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Felix, Nkunku's a striker. We know how that one goes already. Like, you get good finishing if he gets the ball, but other than that, the pressing's horrible. He doesn't link the play the same way Jackson does. He doesn't get involved nearly enough. And the main issue for me going into the end of a game, and it's very frustrating because we actually have the squad depth this season on paper. Yes, we have a few injuries, but we do have the players to change games. However, last 15, 20 minutes of games, again, sometimes the bench isn't even being used. But for me, we just lack the ability to add that final bit of thrust in the last bit of a game to go and win it. Because we win a lot of games early. But how many games have we won late this season? I don't feel like we do win it late. And a big part of that's because in a number 9 position, we can't bring on a 6'2" guy to just lump crosses into the box. We've got Neto trying to stand up crosses to Palmer at the back post. Like, what are we doing? Or if even Gusto did that one time as well. It's just crazy. So
it's to Enzo Fernandez running in the box, who's like 5 foot.
Yeah, doing a fair man running. It's like it's cool and all, but these men are all midgets. None of them have got that physical presence in the box. So there's no threat at all. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Jarring. I think jarring's the word for me. And he just
extremely jarring.
Yeah, you look at his individual chances today. Like some people would say, well, some of them were quite hard. I don't think so. If you're a bagsman, if you're someone that knows where the net is, like you take at least one of the chances that we created for him today.
No, for Jackson, he's got to score one of those chances.
Right.
Again, the one where he turns Lacroix, and then he goes to the outside of his foot. Obviously, he did that against West Ham and it looked great. But when it doesn't come off, you're like, okay, you know you have to hit the target with that kind of shot. You have to hit the target at the very least. So that one, the one left-footed in the second half where he's greedy, which you want from a striker, because Neto was there to maybe play it into him. But cool, you're greedy, take the shot, no problem. But at the very least, work the keeper. And again, one of these chances, they've got to go in. But it wasn't just him today, even though we had the most. But he missed chances. Palmer missed chances. Or we'll talk about Palmer. Neto missed chances. Enzo had chance. Enzo had that chance to the side foot. The time to cook it in the box, or Gusto's near enough the box. And I mean, Gusto, we need to do some sort of player rating, bro, because I need to talk about some of these players, man. Because
we're going to go to that. Obviously, like, listen, before we go into a player rating, let's quickly talk about. I mean, AJ spoke about Maresca. I want you to just quickly detail me, because we're not going to get a chance to after the player ratings. It's going to be a bit of time. But in terms of Maresca, what's going on? Because I've seen a manager at the beginning of the season, through that period where we're doing well, being very good at this, remember, like, in-game management, making the right decisions, when to switch 4 or 5 substitutions, using his bench well, giving players opportunities, keeping them competitive, keeping them hungry, and we saw it on the pitch and it was working very well. But he's gone from doing that to in my opinion, and showing that he doesn't trust anything. He just doesn't trust his bench. And I just don't get his mindset at the moment, because 74 minutes, 70 odd minutes again, we wait for another substitution. What is going on with Maresca?
It's very difficult to understand, bro. But I think a big part of it is he doesn't trust this current bench. Now, when it was Reece James on the bench, Lavia on the bench, if you have a Fofana coming back from an injury, he would trust these guys. Noni, when he's in favour, he would trust Noni to come on earlier. And I guess in Nkunku, before the recent form where he's not been effective off the bench. So that's cool. These guys are either not unavailable, or some of them aren't in form, or you have your little rift with Noni right now. Cool. But that doesn't mean you stop making subs. You trust other people around. If it's a Vega, get him involved. Again, we saw Josh. Josh could have easily come on against an Ipswich or a Fulham. We chose not to. You start study, plays 90 minutes, and he's one of our best players. Why didn't you trust this guy earlier? So again, these things are extremely frustrating, and I'm not going to assume, because again, we don't have the knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes and what these managers, how they think and all of these things. But one pattern that I've noticed with him, obviously, again, being a Pep disciple, we saw that season when Pep won the treble, obviously Maresca was there, great season. A lot of things that Pep did is he wouldn't make subs. He would just be like, oh, I'm leaving the players out there to go figure things out. And I don't know if that's something that Maresca is directly taken from Pep, but again, I did see Leicester fans complain about this last season when they won the league. And we're seeing that this season now, when he hasn't got his first choice bench available, he's slow to make subs, and it's directly impacting the team and stopping us getting results. Now, it's not all on Maresca, because again, like I said, the chances were there first half, even second half, to put the game to bed. And at that point, nobody's complaining about subs. But we didn't do it. The manager's got to now have an effect on the game. And other than switching Palmer and Enzo, he did nothing. Till the 82nd minute, all he did was switch Palmer and Enzo's position. And that was it. And for me, that is criminal. You got to do way more than that. And like you said, to lose points like this, it's jarring. Jarring beyond belief.
100%. It's 2 points in 12 against teams that we should be winning. We've forced ourselves in a position now where we've allowed Newcastle, Man City to catch us from 8th to where we are, which is 4th. There's a 4-point difference, guys. Like, that's how many points we've dropped in the last 4 games. It's just not good enough, in my opinion. And now we've got a challenge, because I've already set it in my head that we should be getting Champions League football. But the way we're moving at the moment, the way things are going at the moment, it's becoming a little bit peak, guys. And I know, obviously, we're a little bit out of form right now, obviously. And it's not... The worry for me with the form thing is you can lose games. You can draw games. It happens. It's football. But it's how we respond. And at the moment, we're creating chances. We're just not responding in the manner of getting the victories done, killing games. And it's hurting us. Game after game, it's hurting us. And I do put that, as much as we blame Jackson and whoever else when they're having these opportunities, I do put that on the manager, because you need to switch it up, man. You had Nkunku on today. I know he's not favoured to play him, whatever, and we're going to get to Palmer in a bit, but you could have brought Nkunku on played him off the left if you don't trust him in the 10, or take Palmer off for once and played him in the 10. Yeah, and in this game, he might have had one chance or two chances, great for him, and he might have killed the game off for us and we win it, But that's because then he would have utilized his bench and we'd have had better legs. We'd have players that had a bit more energy on the pitch getting around, and we maybe have won the game. And these are the little things that are killing me. But guys, keep smashing the likes, share it out. 220 people in the building. We're going to do a quick player rating, guys. We're going to try and fly through as quickly as we can. I'm just going to open it up to the guys for them to speak on it. Sanchez, again, I felt like he had bozo moments in him today. I know Ads was moaning in the chat in certain bits about him, but Sanchez for me is just one of them Sanchez. I thought he made a very good save from, who was it, Mateta from the corner or free kick where it looked like it was going in and he pushed it over the bar. Yeah. Good stretch there, But today he just felt like he kept rushing. The one where he collected the ball and he like bowling ball throwed it. And like when you're a kid and you throw it under your legs.
Literally.
He bowled the ball through it. Like, what are you doing, mate? And then completely gave the ball away. Like these, I get you trying to get us to play at a tempo and you want to help us try and kill the game. But sometimes Sanchez just take a breather, bro. Like, he just has that. It's like he has this rush of blood to his head, doesn't he? He just everything like goes. He loses that control of himself, and he just does something bad. But listen, I mean, you guys, what is there anything you really want to say on Sanchez before we move on to the defense?
I mean, there's a lot I could say, but I could get cancelled. Like, bro, I was doing a whole lead judges in the group chat about what I would do to this guy. But honestly, it's so frustrating, bro, because this brother is 27, so he's not a young guy. Like, he's 27. Like, he's not a young guy, and he's so erratic, so naive in how he plays. That there were periods where they started to get on top in the first half towards the end. At least it came out a bit more even. That came from he got the ball, I think, from a corner, and then instead of like just slowing the game down, he tries to rush a ball up the pitch, and it's just a horrible kick. And then they're straight back on the attack, and then they had like a 2-3 minute spell just off of that. And it's like those little things like that where you can like take the pressure out of the game, but instead you want to rush a ball that isn't on, and then you lose it, and then we're back under the cosh. Like those little things like that. Again, his kicking today in general, abysmal. Yeah. That's when he's trying to throw it out to Augusto or whoever, putting them under unnecessary pressure. And then there was even a time where he could have actually played Nico in on goal. It wasn't really clear on TV, but one of the guys at the stadium said that Nico was literally in on goal. And they said, okay, this is the time now you go and be proactive, and he didn't play it. So it was just criminal. But yeah, like you said, he made a couple decent saves, saved some crosses as well, although he dropped a couple in bad situations. But
yeah,
this guy, we knew he wasn't good enough to win a league realistically. He isn't that level. But shit, he might be not good enough. He might not be good enough to get us top 4. I still think we will get top 4, but this guy is going to make it difficult, in my opinion. If he plays the rest of the season, he is going to make it difficult. I'd give him probably a 2 out of 10. I'm sick of seeing this guy, honestly. Sick of it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he's a 2 or 3. Some people may say that's harsh. He's got better in the last couple of games, but we're not winning games. He's not. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. He's just like, I agree with Ads. He's just not. It's just not that level. I've had this problem with him the whole time. There's not like an agenda when it comes to him. He's just not good enough, man. Like, can we not accept our standards at our football club and just say this guy is just not good enough, and that we need to look at maybe, strengthening in this area? I mean, AJ, anything you want to say before we move on this?
I mean, I think Ad said it all. It's just another week of the same shit. I'm not even too looking at Robert Sanchez today because I just, after like 4 games of basically the same, the game playing out pretty similar, it's beyond Sanchez, so having.
Well, you start with Cucurella then, if you want, if you're not going to Sanchez.
I mean, I'm just say
what I would say to AJ quickly is with Cucurella, obviously, and this is from a system side of things. Today we played more with natural fullbacks, right? It was us trying to hold width and pull their wingers back, and
which I like,
rather than doing too much inverting. But what was your thoughts today on the overall performance?
I mean, I had said in our chat the other day that we need to, not just depend fully on the inverting situation. We need to use the width as well, because it also helps our wingers, which we kind of saw in the first half. Sancho was getting that overlap run from Cucurella. Neto was getting that overlap run once in a while from Gusto. At least Gusto's just more active than not Gusto. Achimpong was. It was Gusto. Gusto was more active than Disasi. So, you get more action and freedom, in that wide area. But Cucurella, I think he's still been one of our better players for the season. You know, he had a good performance, but you know, it's just I'm not looking at our defense anymore. Even though our defense is still, we just keep saying it, it's not the.
We know what it is, though, don't we? That's the thing.
We just need to finish our fucking chances, and like you know, I can't. It's hard for me to rate these players right now because I'm not even looking at our defense, bro. So you guys can put the numbers. Cucurella, I think he's just still one of our better players.
That's why I said I think we should just pick out specific players because I don't think we need to be talking about. I don't really feel like we need to talk about Coles today, for example.
Yeah, I think Cucurella, Cole, I think they were okay. I feel like players like that we can kind of just skim past. I would have maybe given Cucurella like a 5, maybe a 6. Yeah. Cole probably a 6. I think Cole did have a good defensive game. Yeah. I do want to talk about Josh though. Again, that's one big positive from today was the debut of Josh Archimpong, and then for all the people saying that, oh, why would you want to trust the kid? Blah 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 blah. This that the other. He's too raw. Got to go of experience. Shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Man are talking about you got to play Disasi because he's experienced and all this nonsense. When we're in a ball playing system, have a guy who I forget about age, forget about experience. This guy technically is sound on the ball, and even in the first 2 minutes, one ball gets hoofed up from their keeper, and he brings it out of the sky with a beautiful first touch, threads it through the lines instantly, and we have an attack. And I think that led to a good chance as well. And that you're not getting that with the Disasi. You're just not. So like little things like that, it got him into the game, and he had a very steady game. Defensively good as well. We'll probably give him a 7 just because again for his debut against Mateta, he did it very well for the most part. So he should be really upset that he didn't get a clean sheet because he deserved the clean sheet. And we'll get on to why we lost the clean sheet. But for me, Josh, excellent performance.
Yeah, definitely. I think just the fact that there's no moments where like, damn, he looks shaky there. Like there was really nothing from that. He had a great game, you know, like for his debut. That's an excellent game.
So here it is for me. This is it for me because when we were talking earlier, I said I was unsure. I've never seen him play centre back, so I didn't really have an idea of what to expect. But when I saw 3 centre backs on the pitch, I was a bit like, on the bench, I was a bit like, okay, we've got 3 centre backs on the bench here, including Tosin. And some people may say, well, dropping Tosin, is that the right thing to do? I know he's not been playing. I mean, last game round, he was so blimmin' leggy and slow. He looked a little bit vulnerable, don't get me wrong. But out of a bad bunch, I think Tosin's probably our best backup in terms of centre-back options from what I'm seeing so far. However, from what I see today of this young lad, I think he done a good job. And I agree with you. I think against someone like Mateta, who's a very experienced, driven, strong, good striker, you know, in the Premier League, that's always going to give you problems. I thought he done well. However, and I know we're going to move on to Gusto in a second, I still think the way this boy plays, he's a right back for me. And I only say that just because I think his abilities on the ball could be used better further up the pitch. And I actually think he probably has a cross in him as well, better than this guy that we're going to talk about next. Because at the moment, I love Malo Gusto. I mean, me and Ads love Malo Gusto. But at the moment, this guy is not doing us any favors, is he, at the moment? And it's just, I don't know. I don't think he had I know you guys said that, I think it was Couch. He said he was been poor the whole game. I didn't think he was that bad the first half. I don't think he was amazing, but I preferred him playing how he was playing, which was staying in his role up and down the pitch. But the second half, he was out of position. You know, he was out of position so many times off the ball, which dragged us out of position and Josh out of position to cover, you know, and allowed space in the box for people to attack. And it happened a number of times. And the most annoying thing with him again is that when he goes forward, his passing ability is so bad all of a sudden. He can't seem to break the lines or you know, beat a defender and play the ball into the space behind so that our wingers can run into it and, you know, and attack the space. He just makes the wrong, I'm going to say the wrong pass. I don't know what it is with him. His execution's just shit. That's it. Like, that's all I can say with it. And it's becoming annoying. He's annoying me now when I watch him, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think for me, listen, as you know, I like Gusto a lot. He had a very good season last year. And I thought he even looked pretty good in pre-season. But just this season, it's just not worked out for him. And you know when you like a player, you like to make these excuses up. You have a bit of copium. And I was like, oh, you know what? Because he's having to do a lot of inverting or playing right centre-back, this is a guy who just played natural fullback in the French league and was just killing it, like doing his job. And I felt like maybe because of all the information overload from Maresca, having to do all these little different things of inverting into like the 6 or inverting into the 10, all these things, I thought maybe it got into his head and it kind of affected his decision making, like you said. But I'll be real, you played normal position, normal right back today, conventional right back. And as they say, shit is shit, and you got to call shit shit, because that was shit. Like decision making, passing, execution, all was off today. And then like you mentioned as well, like defensively left us open so many times. And other than one block he made on, I believe, maybe Mateta or Eze. This is when they had one of the cutbacks from Munoz, which was causing us a lot of trouble on our left side. Yeah. Other than that one block, which that was a great moment. I might have said this a goal, but he was awful. Like he was just awful today. I would probably give him a 2 as well. Like, boy, we need Reece James to be fully fit, or as you said, Achimpong as a right back, which is what I wanted, because I don't think Tosin should have been dropped. I'll admit, when I saw the lineup, I was like, I'm happy Josh is playing. He should play. But I thought maybe centre back against Mateta. I don't know, but he played well. However, for me, Josh right back, you can bring Tosin back in and wait till Reece James is fully ready. Because Gusto for me right now, I'm sorry, he's just not in good form, and I feel like we're just flogging a dead horse because he's not performing right now.
AJ, any words on Mallow?
I mean, again, Ad said it all. You know, I'm just more.
I'm sorry, bro. I'll say less next time.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't even want to talk too much on these guys right now. Like, but the thing I say about Gusto is he really had an opportunity this season to like solidify that right side. You know, like he could be like that number one guy. You know, to put Reece James in the back burner for good. You know, we're still looking for Reece James because nobody's filling that void. You understand? So it's just disappointing to see. You know, I do think, you know, it's his second season. Sometimes you get that slump. I think he'll be better next season. But, you know, if he doesn't step up, you know, he's going to have a real problem because we're just going to replace him.
The midfield, I'm going to say it first. I think we just lack options. And I'm getting that feeling again that we're going to not burn, but kind of burn the hell out of Caicedo and Enzo again in the middle, because we're just not, you know, to not have at least someone that you can trust to come on the pitch, barring Lavia, is a problem for me. It's becoming a problem now, because this Christmas period was demanding. Playing every 3 days and whatever, and you know them boys. And don't get wrong, I know they're fit and whatever, and they get on whatever. But like today, there's been moments in these last 4 games where our midfield, where I don't think the midfield's a problem, by the way. I think maybe the instruction could have been better in terms of Enzo being asked to drop back a bit more rather than being asked to play as high as he has been. But in terms of the midfield, I thought with Moises Caicedo today, I thought, you know, he got stuck in. He had, again, for me, he had in the second half, he had little moments where he just got caught on the ball here and there. Nothing that was too, like, you know, oh my God, we're in trouble. But, you know, it just you could just tell that sometimes we need someone else, someone with a bit fresh, you know, a bit of fresher legs coming in, giving him a bit of support in there, even if it means taking Enzo Fernandez off and putting someone next to him that can just sit and help him a little bit more in them spaces. Like, I look at Caicedo and I just look at the way we utilize him, and I think he's a great player, but he does have to get cover a lot of grass for the system and style that Maresca wants to play in. It's a lot, and it's not just him, because I think even Enzo Fernandez, in a way, in what he's doing up there, has to do the same, and it's demanding. I just, you know, I don't think they were poor. I don't think our midfield's the problem at the moment, as it has been in the past when we've sat here and said our midfield's a problem, you know. But yeah, there's still spaces. Yeah. You know, Palace found in moments spaces in the midfield when we tried to press and we got beat on the press. Yeah, there was moments, but they're a good team. Let's not doubt Palace as well. That manager that they've got there, I like their manager. I think he's very clued up. He's not stupid. You know, he looks like he knows what he's doing. So yeah, Moises for me, I don't know, just average. You know, I wouldn't say he was great today. I wouldn't say he was poor. I just think he's in there doing what he needed to do. You know, good run with the ball, carried the ball well through. Was that when he played in Palmer, was it, or Jackson, where he carried the ball through the middle? He took on like 2 or 3 players with him.
Yeah, I remember second half. Yeah, I think that led to a chance as well. Yeah,
that led to a chance. You know, so you know, I don't have too much to say about our midfield, really. I mean, Ads, do you still look at?
No, I haven't got much to say about Caicedo. I think the last couple of games he's just been, you know, steady. Maybe I think today probably a 6. Whereas a few weeks ago he was dropping like 8, 9s, even 10 out of 10 performances. So not that he's playing bad. He's just, you know, he's just doing his job. He's doing okay, and that's fine. I think, again, like you said, the midfield hasn't been an issue, and it's quite refreshing that now we're talking about games not necessarily getting results, but we're not talking about it being down to the midfield. It's quite clearly on the attack. So yeah, I'd give him a 6. There's not really much to say about Caicedo. He's still keeping up decent enough form.
Let me switch this question to AJ, because he seems to be very focused about our midfield a lot when I watch. When we look back on our draws and losses so far. I mean, AJ, you spoke about a lot about the spaces in the midfield. For you, do you still feel that we're lacking something in there? Do you think it's part of the problem at the moment, or are you still comfortable with Caicedo and Enzo and what they're doing?
I think there's two sides to it, or it could be even more. But you know, we do create a lot of chances. Let's put that out there. We create a lot of chances. We do cycle the ball through teams fairly effectively to go forward, you know, and create chances. My problem is when you reach like the middle portion of the game heading towards the end portion of the game, and you don't make any changes where you either add an extra midfielder now because, you know, you need to kind of solidify the structure a little bit more, close up the gaps. We coming towards the end of the game. You want to see through a result. We're not finishing chances, and that's been our problem. You know, maybe 3 out of the 4 last games where we're in the lead, but we just still conceding a lot of space. The other team is growing into the game. You could kind of feel an equalizer coming, and I just think Maresca needs to tap into that pulse and look at the midfield instead of only just looking at. He always looks at either taking off a striker, doing a like for like replacement, or going, you know, one of the right or left backs come off. He never looks in the central midfield, and that's a problem. That's a problem.
But that's just because we haven't got it, right? If Lavia was available and he's on the bench,
we got it. Was Vega on the bench? Was Vega on the bench today?
Vega was the only midfielder on the bench.
Put him on the field. Put him on the field.
100%.
He can go into the midfield next to Caicedo. Vega.
What? Just to play as a midfield? As a midfielder?
Take off one of the. You either take off one of the wingers. You know, you take off Neto. You take off Sancho. Put in Vega, or you take off. You know, I mean, it's mainly going to be one of the 3 attackers. That's who's going to come off. You understand? So,
I would take Enzo off in these instances because you don't need him on the pitch at that point on the 60th, 70th minute when you're 1-0 up.
You don't need him, but like you said, we don't have the option, so he might have to stay on, you know, in those situations. But that's even a deeper problem because these 4 games were the games that we probably should have tried to rotate Enzo or Caicedo or both of them, because now, you know, I mean, I guess we got Bournemouth and Wolves coming up next, but then after that, the run of games is crazy. You know, we're playing straight top 8 teams, you know, so I do think, you know, we complaining about Enzo and Caicedo being tired, but I don't see them getting a rest anytime soon. We do have 10 days off till the next Premier League game, so maybe that's an opportunity for them to rest. But they're going to be right back to it.
Is there anything to say about Enzo today, really and truly, on the ball? I mean, I thought he had a good first half, to be quite honest. Yeah, I was overlapping with Sancho very well, getting into the pockets, trying to whip balls in. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I mean,
for me, I thought he had a good game. Obviously, he had some chances and moments where he could have done a bit more.
Yeah.
The chance second half, I feel like he's got to get that on target for me. But again, I've been impressed with him of late. I think Ipswich, he was exceptional against Ipswich. Even very good against Fulham as well. Today, just good, but like I'm happy just seeing his performances out of Enzo. Even seeing some of the running power to like underlap plays or overlap plays. That seeing him do that, it just shows that last season he was not physically anywhere near where he is right now, which is good.
100%.
But again, the fact that we can't change anybody in midfield it's a real hindrance to the team. And again, I like what AJ said. Like you can bring in a Vega, take up one of the midfielders, and then you push Enzo into like a more attacking number 8 or just a 10 role off the ball at least.
Yeah.
And then we have a bit more defensive solidity, because there are times where we're getting countered and Enzo can't always run back with that same intensity, and it would help him having a Caicedo and somebody else in the midfield. But again, no changes are being made. We're not trusting a Vega. And it's like, what's the point of us spending all these minutes and everybody's saying to us, rival fans especially, saying that, oh, you got £1 billion squad, don't complain, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But then it's not £1 billion squad, but I'm not going to get into the maths of it. But we have players like Vega there who we spent decent money on, but we're not utilizing it. It's madness to me. It's madness.
On the manager again, isn't it? It's the guy that we keep referring to. It's not
that part is on the manager. That part is on the manager.
Okay. Let's get into the attack, because it feels like the last 3-4 games has all been about the attack, and Neto got his game today. I said earlier on, I thought Neto had the first half was very. I thought him and Sancho were very good. We'll get Sancho in a bit, but I thought him and Sancho were fine. You know, down the wings, they were attacking well and whatever. The second half, it got to a point where I wanted Madueke to come on, because I could see we needed someone that was a bit more direct, that had the legs and could carry the ball past Tyrone Mitchell. Because at the end of the day, that guy looked, after 67 minutes, he looked a little bit leggy, and he decided, and this again was Maresca's choice. He decided to take Sancho off and play Madueke on the left, which I just found a bit mad. I'm not going to lie. I found that a very weird decision in terms of Madueke and where he plays and where Neto can play if he isn't on the right, which is the left. But staying on Neto, I thought he was okay. I don't think he had an atrocious game. I thought he nearly set Palmer up in the box, which Palmer should have got his foot on and put it in the back of the net because he beat his man in the box and played it on with his right into Palmer. Had no one marking him, and he literally just went past his foot. But I like Neto. I've always liked Neto. I think that was a good player. I really do. I think he does give us it. He's not as direct as Madueke for me, but his final third decision making usually tends to be quite good. I just feel sometimes he's got a habit of cutting in on his left foot and just playing these swinging balls in. And they're just a little bit wasteful sometimes. And they're the little moments where I'm like, listen, you can't be whipping balls into Enzo Fernandez and Sancho. You know what I mean? Like trying to win headers in the boxes and stuff. Like, I don't know. For me, I thought it was okay. Average performance for me, for Neto. Better than the last game or two from what I've seen of our wingers, if you want my honest opinion. They've been a big letdown for why we've not actually played well. But today I thought they were okay. I don't know if you agree with me on this one.
I mean, you see, Neto, when we signed Neto, I was excited, and I still think there's a lot of potential there. But just the skill set he has and the pace he has, and then also the ball striking ability, that's something that separates him from Sancho, Mudryk, and Madueke. He can actually strike a ball clean and hit his corners. But in the play, during the game, I think he needs to improve just, the positions he takes up, the decisions he makes, and just, I don't know. I think he's not as connected with the team yet, I don't know what it is. He doesn't really have somebody on the team who he links up well with at this moment. So, but, he also is in and out the team. So it's funny, it's funny with him, but he does need to step up. He needs to beat his man more. He needs to try and get more shots off. Same thing with Sancho. These guys need to shoot more. You understand? Like, it can't just be Cole Palmer and Jackson. It can't just be them. I'm sorry. Like, it's not enough. Jackson is already not clinical. Cole Palmer is hot and cold. He'll score a goal, but then he'll go ghost in the games, or he'll be brilliant in the game, but he can't score, So we need somebody else to take the responsibility of scoring goals.
Yeah,
it was Madueke early in the season. He was putting the
ball.
We
was getting that though, haven't we? This is what I don't get. We're just gone we've gone the complete opposites of what we have been seeing, and it's like it's completely. It's like north to south, like for me, in the way that it's gone the last 4 games. So, go on in. That's what we're saying. No.
Again, I agree completely. I agree completely with AJ that even when we bought the guy, I was super excited, and I looked at his numbers at Wolves and thought, okay, they're not great, but against big teams, he's always a threat. He's always making things happen. But when you really break it down, since his debut, when he obviously got the assist against Wolves, he's got 2 goal involvements, 1 assist, 1 goal, and that's it. And that is just not good enough. And a team that's actually getting a lot of goals, getting a lot of chances, it's not good enough. And yeah, today he was a bit more effective. First half was good. A bit more direct, taking on his man, getting to the byline a couple of times, putting some decent crosses, cool. But you soon realize why he's got literally no goals or assists when he played the right wing. All his goals and assists have come when he's played left wing. Obviously, there's the goal against Arsenal where he started on the left end and he moved to the right. And then he obviously cut and scored a good goal. That's cool. But other than that, like off the right, when does it even look like a threat of getting us any GA? Doesn't look like a massive threat of doing that. Yeah, the Palmer probably should be better. Maybe Neto's pass could have been a bit slower for him, but
yeah.
Other than that, like he's not giving me enough. Today, I'll probably say 6. It's been better than what he's doing. I'll say 6 out of 10. It's better than what he did against Everton and other games. But is it enough? No, it's not. Unless we're saying that Palmer needs to always carry us in games, or we need to always not concede a goal. I don't feel like Pedro Neto's giving us enough, because 7-8 games of a goal involvement, that is not good enough. And for me, even second half, you look at it like I want him to test the fullback more. And cool, he was doing the knock and run thing earlier in the first half, and that was fine. But like second half, you're not going to be as fresh. But it seems all he's got in his locker is just a kick and run. And you need more in your locker than that, or being able to like cut back to your left and then cross it. Which again, he's got a great cross on him, but without like a Jimenez or somebody back post who's got heading ability, it's not really that effective. So I need way more from this guy, way more. And I feel, and the way that, last point on it, but the way that somebody like a Noni gets criticized in this team and this season, but you look at Neto and his output this season, yeah, cool. He works hard and all these stuff but you need end product. You need end product as a winger in this team, and he's not giving us enough.
I think I agree. I do agree. I think I want more from him. I don't know whether it's more. The one thing I notice with him more than anything when he plays off the right is when he cuts in on his left and he takes that shot, he's quite predictable. He always takes a shot near post. If you've noticed, every time where he should have gone on the other end, he always seems to go where on the near post, and there's a lot of chances that he creates that for himself. And I think he needs to be a little bit more shrewd in them moments to be able to go, right, I need to be a bit more composed, and in them moments I need to pick my corners better, because when you're cutting inside the box on your left foot and the goalkeeper's covering the near post and you're just kicking it at him when you've got the whole goal open on the right of the goalie, it's just he does it so many times in games. I watch him and I'm like, come on, man. And that's why I kind of like, that's why he's a little bit different from Madueke, because Madueke will bend it into that corner, if he cuts inside his foot, and
or he can go on his right foot a bit more, because Neto, another extremely one-footed player, other than hitting the ball and maybe thinking a right foot cross, he doesn't use his right foot ever. Everything with him is just left foot, left foot, left foot. It's too predictable, man. Too predictable.
Let's talk about cold. Good finish. Good finish today from a great assist from Sancho. Had as good chance. I say it's not as many as Jackson, but had some good chances for us within the box. Is it his fault? I mean, it's the goal is his fault. Are we saying the goal is his fault for getting caught on the ball in the middle? If that's the case, and it's not, it's very rare that he tends to get caught on the ball. Is it because we're just overusing him and he needs to maybe come off? And to be quite honest, today, what I noticed today with him, he had the freedom of the 10 roll today. He had the freedom, Then the thing that he was doing more than anything, I can't remember who said it. It might have been Ads actually. This man was crashing the box more today. Like he was actually arriving in the box when we were getting out wide, and that's where he found his goal today. And he could have had one from Neto as well. We got to get past relying on Palmer to score goals. And I know Jackson should have took his chances today, but when is it going to come that Maresca's going to look at Cole Palmer and go, do you know what? 20 minutes left of the game. He's not really been that effective. Let's get him off. Yeah, let's get him off.
Yeah.
I've got João Felix. I've got Christopher Nkunku. Oh, what? Guess what? I said Christopher Nkunku ain't a 9. Yeah, but I still use him there because, I want to keep Cole Palmer on the pitch. How about you play him in his natural position and at least let him show you what he can do rather than just giving the guy one blimming position in the team? Like, give us something else, because the one thing Nkunku will do in a 10 for me is arrive in the box, and I still think he's a killer. I still think if you give him 1 or 2 chances, he's going to bang into the bottom corner. But we're not seeing that at Chelsea because we're not giving him them chances. You're not even allowing him to do that. And the difference between him and João, I know we got the João Felix. Oh, João, we need him in the 10. His creative ability is unbelievable. But his output and execution is shit. And I said that when we first bought the man, and I was consistent with it. When I said that this guy will not give us what we need in the final third. With Nkunku, he will give you that. So when you need to kill games off, why can't we see a Jackson and Nkunku again? Why can't we see that, Maresca? Why are we not doing that? Like, give Palmer a break, man. He doesn't have to play every game. You're not Arteta. You don't do what he's doing to Saka, because eventually, guess what? Palmer's going to have the same fucking problem as Saka and get a 6-7 month injury because you're playing him every game when he doesn't need to. Or maybe we need something different. Listen, scored a good goal today. I thought he kind of fizzed out the second half. He got switched to the left and he went quiet for me. I don't know if you guys agree. I thought he went a little bit quiet as he went off to the left.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think, you see, my thing with Palmer, is, first of all, the fan base needs to realize this chill guy mentality that he has, it can only take you but so far. You have to still have a seriousness about the game during the game, because I think there are moments in the game where he's just so casual. I'm like, bro, you're so much better than this. You scored a goal, but it's not enough, and the team depends on you. But then on the other side of it, Maresca has to understand that Palmer is still not the guy where you're like, oh no, he has to play 90 minutes every game. You're not that yet, bro. You're not that. He is our best player. He's our most effective player. We all know that. We're not taking that away from him. But you're not a guaranteed 90-minute player yet. You're just not there yet. You understand? So that's a problem, because I think Palmer is one of the players or one of the candidates to be taken off the field in that last 15, 20 minutes of the game to close up the game. You understand? Unless you put him in a wide position, he's one of the players that you can take off. But we still got to give Palmer grace, because he's been our best player. He can't have an amazing game every single game, but he has to take it up another level. He has to take the seriousness and the desire to want to be the leader, just more. You understand?
We're going to stay on Palmer for a second, but I just saw this and I was like, this is even worse when I look at it from Jack. And listen, Jackson's a striker who wants to take the shot. Look at Neto.
I'm not mad at the shot. I'm not mad at the shot at all.
It doesn't. It's not that easy. Like, the still image makes it look like
easy
in real time.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I think more to this is there two big chances in the game and he's fuffed them, which, I mean, I don't know how he's fuffed them.
I'm pretty sure the second one, which was a horrible miss, I'm pretty sure he was offside anyways. It was a good ball from Enzo, but he was offside. But then, I mean, if the overall point is Jackson's been wasteful, I completely agree. He's been wasteful.
God, in Palmer, what were we saying? Because you spoke a lot about Palmer and his lack of Palmer-esque, shall I say?
I mean, I feel like we saw a lot of Palmer today and he was effective and he scored a good goal. But again, we want to kill the game off, and he had moments where he could have killed the game off or picked a better final ball, and it weren't great. But I'm just talking about him from the first hour, because for me, what we're now seeing is a first hour Palmer, and then the second hour, and then the last 30 minutes Palmer. And that last 30 minutes of Palmer is not looking good, boys. It's not looking good. And for some reason, the manager doesn't see it, or he's just so infatuated with the guy that he cannot move from the number 10. And what I hate about it is, if you want to keep Palmer on the whole game, which I don't necessarily agree with, but move him at least to the right, because you're looking at the bench and you're seeing the names like Felix and Nkunku not come on. It is absolutely bizarre. Like, it's when you nobody could tell me this at the start of the season that we're going to see 3-4 games back to back pretty much, and these two are not coming off the bench. It doesn't make any sense. So for this to be happening is crazy. And again, what I don't like about Palmer in late in games is he keeps forcing it. And we're a team where it feels like last 20 minutes of the games we're not having that extra bit of thrust to go and win the game. Maybe because we lack a focal. Maybe because we lack a focal point. But a large part of it is because we have Palmer in the 10 just forcing things and not playing at a top level. And then the goal that we concede, that highlights that to the biggest degree, because you don't need to lose the ball in that situation. There was an easy pass to make. It takes an extra touch they didn't need to take, and then we go and drop 2 points from there in a game that we just don't need to drop points. And that's why it's so frustrating for me that we don't kill teams off. Because for me, we always have a goal conceded in us. We always have a chance to give away a goal. I would probably give him, I don't know, a 6 out of 10, but it's mad frustrating, that. And it's really it's on him. Of course it's on him, but it's on the manager too, because we're seeing the same pattern. We're seeing the same pattern over 4 or 5 games, and he's not addressing it at all.
He's having that Poch naivety about him, which is annoying me. You remember when I used to get annoyed with Poch about just leaving things and just like, yeah, it will sort itself out. Yeah. He's doing that. And I know he's had moments like today, he put Josh in today, which is out the blue. I get that. But like in terms of the attack, in terms of the structure with the midfield, I still think Enzo could have dropped in. I mean, I know Enzo was on the right, but, asking him to drop in a little bit deep with Caicedo could have just helped, just to cover that space in moments when we lose the ball and stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, let's talk about Jadon Sancho, because I thought he had a good game first half. I thought he was electric. Flicking, nutmegging people in the boxes. The assist that he set up was an amazing assist, by the way. What class was that? What I love about him, and I keep saying it, for me, and this is where he's better than every winger that we have at the club, is his execution with his passing in the final third. He seems to find them like little passes between the lines in the boxes. So when Palmer's making that run, or whoever's making that run in the box, if he's in a position where he can execute it, he always makes the right way to pass, right? That's him. He's the right way to pass guy. I thought he defended quite well as well in moments. He tried to help Kukurea as much as he could. Second half, he fizzed out for me. And I don't know whether it's because Cole Palmer was out on the left and his chemistry went, because I keep saying the chemistry between him, Enzo, and Cucurella is quite good. In this first half, you saw it. You know, the lapping, the overlapping, giving him an option, the 1-2s, trying to get around 2-3 players between the two of them. And I was watching them in the first half between Sancho and Enzo. Every time they got shut down quick in that corner, they were just flicking balls between them, like they just getting out of tough positions and then moving the ball across and stuff like. But I like Jadon Sancho, and he has been a little bit cold the last couple of games. But today, in the first half, I thought he was very, 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 very effective. Good. But second half fizzed out. He brought Madueke on to put him on the left, which confused the fuck out of me, to be quite honest with you. But listen, no doubt, Jadon Sancho had a good, I thought, an overall good game today. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to mention on his performance today. Better than what we've seen the last couple of games.
As you go.
Yeah, I thought excellent. I actually think he was very good against Fulham as well for me. I just thought we didn't put the game to bed. And yeah, maybe towards the end of games, he's also fading a little bit. I agree. But I think a big part of that is because he's working so hard off the ball. And this is a criticism that he got a lot when he moved to United. People saying that, oh, he's sluggish, blah, blah, blah. He's putting extra weight. But, I mean, I think he still worked pretty hard for United. But you see, with us, he's working hard off the ball. This guy is putting it in. And Munoz was giving us a lot of trouble. And it was only because of Sancho a couple of times that he was able to help double up on him or stop him putting it across a couple of times. So he's doing a lot off the ball. But again, I don't want my wingers just to be known for doing work off the ball. You got to do shit on the ball. And for me, the assist, that's probably the best assist that we've had all season. Honestly, I think Palmer's pass for Jackson's goal against Newcastle, obviously that was a pre-assist, which was a world-class pass. But this as an actual assist, dummying it past Munoz, then dribbling into the box and then finding the right way of pass into Palmer, that was just beautiful. And again, Sancho's a top player, man. This is why I wanted him at the club, because for 25 million, it's a steal. It's an absolute steal, and he needs to do more of these kind of performances for sure. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it for sure. I just feel like the only thing with Sancho is that you then need somebody else on the other side to offer a big attacking threat too. Because as good as Sancho was today, again, looking at some of his stats, a 95% pass accuracy, which is very high. But what that also shows is he maybe doesn't take as much risk as other kind of attackers. You know, if you picture like if we had a Leao as a left wing, he would give the ball away a lot more than a Sancho. But then he might force the needle in a way where he might create a goal out of nothing. And Sancho, other than the Tottenham goal, which was a class goal, doesn't take too many risks. Now, the goal that you set up today was a risk with the dummy and all of that, and that's great. But it doesn't take as many risks as some other wingers. In fact, and even today, he only had 3 touches in the box, which is quite low when you think about how much we dominated the game. And Pedro Neto, by example, had 9 touches, and he should have done a lot more. Now, thinking about it, he should have done a lot more with the chances that he had. But again, with Sancho, I'm happy. Very good performance. He needs to keep this level high because it can't always be relying on Palmer. Clearly, we can't always rely on Jackson either. So, big up Sancho. Probably for me, 8 out of 10. I would say our man of the match. Him and the centre backs for me were probably the most impressive players for me today.
Could we see him off the right? Would him playing off the right be a better version of him maybe in games? Sancho, like, do you think he'd give us a bit, or do you think it would just be the same sort of performance? It doesn't matter because of the ability of him just being very sort of nimble, dribbling 1-2, trying to. What I like about him, like I keep saying, is just the execution and the way of passing. Like he finds them like needle thread passes, you know, like he'll play them through the lines and that, and it's very good. So I don't know. I mean, we've got enough on the right. Don't get me wrong, and he is obviously, especially with Mudryk out, even more so for the left. But could we? I like
him more on the left, on the left, just because, especially in build up, he can like hold the ball off and like dribble through against the press and help us play out from under pressure. So I do like him from the left, but I think if we were to play him on the right, it would allow us to then, when it's Gusto or hopefully again touch wood, Reece James stays fit. It allows us to have that overlapping fullback that we had last season, because when it was Palmer right wing and he would move inside, we wouldn't have the overlaps. But this season, because we're always playing touchline wingers and Noni and Neto, we haven't really got that option anymore. So I would like to see that, to be honest, because Sancho, he could play right and then move inside naturally. Yeah.
AJ, Sancho today?
I mean, I think Ad said it. I think Sancho, ironically, I think Sancho, whilst he was one of our better players today, I think this is like a typical Sancho performance to me. So I feel like for me, I just want a little bit more from Sancho in terms of, yes, he got the assist, but I don't see him getting off any shots. You know, I don't see him, you know, that's mainly it. I want to see him shoot the ball and like try to score himself. You understand? Because more opportunities will come from that if he's just looking to actually beat his man and get his own shot off as well. That's what I want to see. That's
just to that point. Sancho had a 1 shot today. Palmer had 2. Neto and Jackson both had 4 each.
And
wow,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm glad Neto's shooting, but you know, I think we had like 2 shots on target the whole game today. So they taking shots, but it's like it's not effective. You know, it's not good enough. You understand? Like as a winger, your job is to create and to score. You know, so you get in 4 or 5 goals in the season, 6, 7 assists. You know, that's not enough. It's just not enough, bro. Like, you know, I'm holding people to Chelsea standard and to top class standard. These people want these accolades of being the best player and you know, oh, Sancho, we got Sancho, he's world class. Yes, he's world class in what he does, but he doesn't score enough goals, and that's not good enough, you know, for the Premier League. That's not good enough for, you know, taking us to the next level. So, you know, I'm on these players now, bro. I'm not babying them with these nice little performances anymore. I need more.
Yeah.
We still drop points.
Anything else that needs to be said about Jackson? We spoke about him a bit earlier, didn't we? But is there anything that anyone wants to say on Jackson?
No, I'd give him a 4. Just had big chances, didn't really take them. And then he works hard off the ball. I think his link-up play, it's been better than what it's been recently. I think it's been better. I don't know if it's a tired thing or just a form thing, but he can offer more in terms of that. It's just frustrating that that's all we kind of have. And then we're relying on him bringing Guiu in 82nd minute, and we just know he's going to run, he's going to work hard, but we need to put in a cross. These centre backs looking like him like a little man. They're not threatened by Guiu in the box, so it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I think he's definitely out of form right now, and I don't know, like you be looking sad and shit when he's like on the field or when he's coming off the field. Like, bro, I'm not. You know, if you're going through something, then I get it, but like if you just sulking because of the game, like I'm not really with that type of shit, bro. You need to like fix up, man. I'm tired of that shit. And you know, I do feel bad for him that he's the only with depending so much on him because you know that was one of my fears when the transfer window closed. You know, and I said it in one of my TikTok videos that I'm disappointed we didn't bring in a plan B type of striker, somebody to help support Jackson, somebody who can, you know, when we play these type of teams that, you know, sit in a mid block, sit in a low block. Somebody like look at what Delap did to us. You understand? We need something like that to just offer us something because, you know, you're not always gonna score with like the nicest football. You know, sometimes you just gotta get dirty with it. You know, you gotta get this ugly with it. You know, so we don't have that. We only could score nice goals. That's it. So. You know, Jackson. You know, I really like.
We need a striker guy. I can't sit here anymore and watch games and not.
It kills me though because we're gonna get a striker in the summer. We said no just to bring in Felix. Like we had Samu there. We then made up an excuse about his medical and brought in Felix. And our Felix in games where we need to win points, he's not even coming off the bench. Like we stopped ourselves getting a striker to bring in a number 10 who doesn't play. Like what the hell are we doing?
That guy, that donut. He had our best chances in the Ipswich game, and now it's João Felix we're talking about. Like this guy's. I'm not even going to bother talking about. I already said what I think about João Felix, and I don't believe why Twitter keep defending this guy so much and saying he should be starting the games. Well, I reckon we should play him in games because he does give us a good. He carries the ball well. He gives defenders problems with his ability on the ball. I get that. Like I can see aesthetically, he's very good to the eye. I understand that. But my man, his execution and final third decision making is some of the worst I've ever seen. Like it is that bad. Like he's just, and he always seems to land to him as well. Like we spent 40 odd million on this. Was it 40 or 50 million on this man? Like no offense,
42 million.
Could have used that money to go and get another striker. Like we didn't need him. We didn't need him. Did we need him really?
Not when you have Nkunku who can play 10, Carney, Dewsbury Hall, and if you're going to play Palmer 24/7, then you definitely don't need Felix at that point.
Don't need him. So we should have gone and used that money, got ourselves a striker that I don't know, either he's on his development route, like Jackson, who could compete and keep him like this, and he's not playing every game. And then you could have had maybe 14 goals from Jackson, 8 goals from the second striker because they're competing, and that would have elevated us to maybe winning the games that we've seen like today, where we need to kill it off, or in Ipswich where we go behind because the VAR decide to fuck us over like they always do and give weird penalties which are not penalties, and we have the Jackson maybe scores and then we bring on the striker in the second half, the second striker, and we win the game. Do you know what I mean? Like this having that option, when you've not got that option and you're going, Jackson, you're starting for 75 minutes today, good luck. And that's what we do. And then we just got to wait and see what type of Jackson we're going to get. Because
you know what's crazy? We have, like, we big up our squad depth, but it end up being that half of our squad depth is like dead weight down there because we just not using them, especially like the Carneys, the.
But you know what is AJ?
The Cassidays, these
with
guys,
Jackson though, specifically, you know what type of game he's going to have within about 10 minutes. Like, I know it sounds really bad, but I watched Jackson for the first 10, 15 minutes, and I know what type of game he's going to have, whether it's going to be a good game, whether it's going to be a bad game, whether it's just not going to be with him. He's just that type of player. And that's just not his fault. That's just because he's on his road to development. Andrew, big up, man. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you, bro. Big up. It's not his fault because he's on his development phase. I get that. Like, he needs to. Is it? Or is it blurry at the moment? Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna come up in a second.
You got about 10 pixels on the screen, bro.
Really? I've got like a new camera. Why is it doing that? Oh god, I'll sort it out anyway. But yeah, look, we're not gonna try to go on too much more, guys. It's an hour and 20 minutes. It has flown. We're fourth. We're in a position where we're still in control of our situation. We go on to the next games and we got to win, man. We got to turn this around now. This dip of form needs to change for us. I need to start seeing him being more active with his squad and showing trust in them and giving them chances. I need to see better performances and, players taking chances or players helping to get involved in chances in front of goal, not just Jackson and Palmer. We need to see more. At the moment in time, guys, it's a little bit peak. I'm not going to lie. It's looking a little bit.
I mean, we're 1 point off Forest, and they have a game in hand on us. Yep. We're now going to be 6 points off Arsenal. Yep. Newcastle 1 point behind us. Bloody Man City, after the most horrendous form, they're only 2 points off of us right now. It's not good. Bournemouth are 3 points behind us. Villa are only 4 points behind us. So that's a large pot of teams that are right there, close on points. We had a nice gap on because we won, I think, 5 or 6 on the bounce in the league. And we've now thrown that lead away. And now these teams are on our neck. Now, I'm still confident we're going to make top 4. I think even 5th would be disappointing for me. 5th would be disappointing. But 5th should still get you Champions League based on how good the teams are doing in the Champions League. Again, touch wood, we're going to win the Conference League. So our coefficient should be good for 5th to even get our Champions League. But we need to finish top 4. I'm not trying to see us finish behind Forest. We got to finish above all these teams here. Newcastle. City, if they go on one of their runs, maybe they could go ahead of us and I could accept it to a degree because I wasn't expected to finish above City this season. But
yeah,
we need to turn this shit around right now. And for me, it's clear as day, we got to go get a midfielder this window. For me, I don't know how we can't force Ugo Chukwu to come back, but if we can't come back, then get somebody in who can actually be used. Because if he doesn't trust Vega, cool. Get somebody who you trust because one of these days, Caicedo or Enzo are going to be either in bad form or they're going to be injured. And we need somebody. And that's what up front. Again, I feel bad almost saying, buy a striker, when we've had Dacho Fofana, David Washington, all these guys, Giyu, that if you put all the money together, it's probably 100 million that we could have just actually spent on a striker. But all we're doing is relying on Jackson and not even, it's madness. We need to do something. But even with the players that we have and the tools at Maresca's disposal, we can get way more points. So we got to turn it around and quickly, very quickly.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just think hopefully over this next 10-day period, Maresca could try to reset with whatever is going on in the squad and try to work something out. And also the team now owe us like 2 big results. That City game, we need a W. That
100%.
Roll down a little bit more, Jim. Who's after West Ham and Brighton?
Brighton, West Ham, Aston Villa, Southampton, Leicester.
That's what I was saying. Right here, we need to go on we got to go on a run because us not picking up 3 points in 4 games, we have to make up for that, you know, and that includes beating City, Arsenal, United, Liverpool. You know, we got to get 3 points out of those games. Otherwise, it's a problem.
Yeah, Bournemouth, City. So going from Jan to Feb, we've got Bournemouth, Wolves, City, West Ham, Brighton, Villa, Southampton. They're our like next run of games. We've got Morecambe next, which hopefully we can put 30 past them, and these guys can wake up in front of goals. So we'll go in. You know what I mean? So that we can like go into the Bournemouth game at home with a bit of fire in our bellies again, or saying, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like just something right now.
Who would you play in that game? Would you play the first 11 in that game, Morecambe?
Hell no. We got a game 3 days after, so we need to just play the Conference League team, innit?
I didn't people so
close. Wolves as well. Wolves are a pain in our ass as well. So we've got to I mean Bournemouth, Wolves. I mean 14th, 21st, 25th.
To be fair though, if you look at it, like Morecambe aside, that should be the Conference League team. It's looking like a 10-day rest for the likes of your Palmers, your Enzos, your Caicedos. And then even after that game, then it's another week till the Wolves game. So we got a bit of a break that we can hopefully make use of, and the likes of a Palmer, just that bit more pressure, because that can help us win us games earlier, because we're leaving games open, and then we're not doing enough to be decisive late in games. So hopefully this mini break is going to help us.
If we beat Bournemouth and we beat Wolves, we'll stay above City, and if we can somehow for once find the fucking goal against these lot, because they're dead. I don't care what they're saying. If we can create and take our fucking chances, we can beat them. But I say that every time, and we don't. So it's just one of them. But it's just annoying, right? But listen, guys, I've got a dip. Big up to every single one of you for this match reaction. Ads, good to see you. Finally, it works. It's good to see it's working as well. So
the whole stream thing was a madness, but I think I figured out a way to make it work. So.
Yeah, come on, bro. That's good. AJ, big up to you as always, well, bro. We appreciate it. Up the Chelsea as always. Win, lose or draw, we're still here. It doesn't matter. We're still here, giving you our thoughts and opinions, what we feel we can do better. You know, it's been a very positive moment for us. You know, like in the last couple of seasons, we've just had such negativity, not on this channel, but across Chelsea platforms. It's been very negative because all we've ever seen is just poor performances and, you know, like Poches, the Potter errors. It's just been very, very hard, you know, to go through. And then we had that sort of moment under Maresca where everything was looking positive and people were keeping fit and we were winning games and he was rotating well. And it feels like we're starting to go like that a little bit again. It's a little bit worrying, don't get me wrong, but I'm just hoping that we can see some activity with them, you know, like we can see a bit more movement with the manager in terms of utilizing his squad, and the players now look at each other and go, look, guys, we need to sort this out now. Like, this is not good enough. Like, we need that kind of, do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping we can kind of find that positivity in our, because this is the problem with our fan base as well. As soon as we start losing 2-3 games, it's Enzo Fernandez is the worst player we've ever signed. Jackson is the worst striker in the world. We ain't got no goal. All right, the goalie thing I agree with him on, but you know, other things. It's just, you know, then it will be blimmin'. We need wingers because Neto, Madueke, Sancho are a waste of money. This is what's going to happen, and I don't want that to happen because we've got a good squad, man. I keep saying it. This is a good squad. We have a good bunch of players. Like we just lacking in certain departments with individual performances. Like Sanchez, like Jackson today, where we need just backup of better quality to be able to just win these games. That's the way I see it, you know. And that will come in time, hopefully, because I do think one thing we can say about our board is they're willing to buy. Who they buy is another story, but they're willing to buy and make things happen. So, yeah, and we're going to be talking about the board, guys. When there's an international break coming up very soon, we are going to be doing a board talk as well, because I feel like we've not spoke about that yet in regards to how they've performed, they've performed, but for what they've done from summer to this point now with the signings and bringing in of the Marescas and stuff like that. Because let's be serious, none of us had a clue of what we were going to think about Maresca and whatever. Do you know what I mean for this season? So it'd be good to actually hear what you guys have got to say based on where we are and stuff as well. So we'll see. But big up, guys. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. See you later, and we'll be back again very, very soon. Peace out. Peace.
Yeah.